Hey guys, you here, aka G, welcome back to another GTA 5 video on my channel today. Got a little bit of racing when I had the time to play over the holiday festive season when I had time off of work. And this is a track made by Solathon, who I'll be going up against pretty soon throughout this race. It was an interesting race because it's not like a normal race where sort of videos I post is usually where if I'm doing really well I tend to just win the race, and that's the sort of standard that I set. But of course now I actually can't even do that, and it really comes down to the time and commitment that I have in life now, which I'll talk a little bit about. But it's mostly about how much time I had before I took for granted, because if you remember those days when this game first came out and how much commitment we had to the whole racing scene when it was evolving at the time with non-contact and contacts, competitive scene, and crew battles, and interacting with Rockstar and their live stream with the whole drama, and it was fun, but at those times I was able to commit my whole life to this. I was devoted for this it's not something long term, because I always had this anxiety, this sort of seed planted in my head that never really I never had ease, never had that peace of mind where I thought, this could be it, this could be my career for long term, because my instinctive natural side came in where it was going against this, because none of this is natural. None of committing to a video game is natural. It's like it's never been, and I'm a very earth sort of oriented person, landscape, nature, scenery sort of guy, so the creative aspect was there for sure, which was something that was fueling my curiosity. However, the level of setting goals and driven by it was certainly accomplished at a point where I realized how much I was overplaying this game, how much it was consuming me, because at points where you would react to an amazing moment, right? I would be so numb to it, like an epic top 5 epic racing moment. I became so numb to these moments when I was actually taking part in these events and races. So I had to take a break, and that's primarily one of the reasons why I took such a long break, or just I thought at one point I quit and I thought I'd never come back. Because it's like a love-hate relationship has always been with this game and just gaming in general. In the past, I've had the same issues with Call of Duty before even GTA 5 came out. It's because when you get so consumed into one thing, your mindset changes and it becomes very toxic. Even if you don't show it, it's just internally something builds up. It's like that lactic acid, when you're working out too much. You just don't see it, but it hits you at once and you explode and you have to stop. So it's like, yeah, man. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but what my point is, the time that I didn't appreciate back then, because now I do. Because here's my point. I've got myself finally settled with the reality of things, the whole the working lifestyle, committing to my partner, and potentially thinking about the next steps from that, investing, getting your own assets, and all of that adult stuff, I guess, has now come into play in my life. Since this game come out, it's almost 10 years now, so a lot has progressed in my life. However, when we're talking specifically about the game itself, I realize how off-putting it is, coming from such a competitive edge from before to now struggling on the game. And it really goes to show how much I appreciate every moment I get from playing now, because it's like every moment feels like it's brand new, and the game has advanced so much with the whole brake boosting and short shifting. There's a lot to catch up on. Now, I'm not going to let this demotivate me or put me down, but of course I can't help but to criticize my own decisions in the game, where I used to just be able to do it what's the term you say, first instinct, like first time, without having to think twice. Like certain things you could just do naturally without having to put effort into it. Now you kind of have to, I'm in a position where I'm kind of have to put some effort into it and really find the time and the energy to be able to play and manage manage the other stuff in my life with this. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not gonna frustrate myself like what I see. This is the problem. I put so much pressure on myself before because this was solely the only thing I could rely on financially as well. So that put a lot of burden in terms of, and not even the burden. It's just taking the fun out of the game and the whole thrills behind it. So the natural element definitely went away from actually the whole purpose of playing the game when I realized from it going from fun to very serious and it consuming me mentally. It was a crazy phase, you know, so we had to take a break from that, got into working out and transformed and all of that, and that's where it sort of just set off, you know. The opportunities arise from that, and you know, just venturing out, taking other risks rather than just, you know, letting this anxiety build up of just focusing on one thing. And it's never healthy to just purely sacrifice everything and just take a gamble at one thing, unless you invested in Bitcoin 10 years ago, but that's a different story, right? But you know what I'm saying. But look, at the end of the day, man, I am pleased to say that finally found balance in my life, and I can actually just have fun. I can actually have fun, you know, without lying to myself. That's a bit weird to say, but yeah, man, it's been a very self-conflicted time, a decade, I suppose, of overcoming obstacles and really trying to find fun in life whilst dealing with the adult life. Because at the end of the day, no one truly changes. Everyone has their, you know, the deep devoted passion and hobbies that they have. And personally for me, it's always been gaming, but it's just accepting that growing up, you know, sometimes you just are in denial and you just want to cover that up because you're an adult now and you just want to deal with adult matters. And that's where the whole mental health shit arises from. You know, people just don't want to accept who they are and having to adapt to a different persona based on their age or the circumstances of their job and lifestyle changes. But you shouldn't change who you are, and it's the biggest lesson, man. And you know, certain things will always stay with you. Like for me personally, coming back, sure, like, you know, I've got a lot to learn, but like there's the basics of the game is still there, common sense side of things, and you know, the beauty of this right here displaying, just having an amazing battle throughout the whole race, and you know, it's just really fun to see experienced guys still playing the game, because I've learned a lot already just from having conversations from Discord, just seeing people's perspectives of their builds of different cars, and I forgot the amount of detail that this game goes into, which I'll talk about in another video. But it's beautiful, man. You know, the game's still there, and that's the crazy part. No matter what happens in life, there is still an option to play this game and to just escape and really, it's therapeutic. It really is therapeutic. And it's the only thing I'm struggling with is trying to put more time into it, man. And coming from the past of being able to play this game for 24 hours, 48 hours, doing those crazy live streams and going for records, it's difficult to accept that now I can't do that, and only I can do that if I'm on like a holiday, which is like once a year. So it's mostly during the Christmas and New Year's phase, isn't it? What just went by. Even then, it's difficult because, you know, you have to manage your relationship, you have to manage the time and what you're doing, and also, most importantly, learning how to switch off. And that is actually ultimately the hardest thing ever, is learning how to take your mind off things and actually accepting. So I'm not a very accepting person of my own faults, or when I would need to accept that enough is enough. Like, there's certain things I used to do in the past where I just want to commit to one track, for example, and insist on going for a world record. It takes a very long time for me to accept that someone else is quicker than me, or it's just, that's just a basic example, or someone else is eventually going to break that world record. So it's accepting that, you know what, you got to know your boundaries, you got to know your limits, and that's taken me a long time. Anyways, the race has come to an end. I appreciate all of you guys that have been still supporting this channel since day one. You know, I'm talking about your OG people, man. You guys are nuts. Been here since the very beginning. You guys have seen the ups and downs, and I truly do appreciate it, man. You know, it's gonna have fun with this, gonna see how the algorithm works, and really just focus on being consistent more than anything. The quality of content may not be exactly how you have witnessed in the past. However, we are still going to bring you as much entertaining content as possible. Thanks for watching. Shaggy. Sign out. Good night. Peace. Yeah.